First question from the room. Don't be shy.
Our boy.
Yes.
Lars, I'm Alexander from Denmark, Danmarks market. And how do you feel personally the pressure now with Iceland compared to all the championship you were with Sweden?
I don't know if I remember how much pressure it was earlier, but no, I don't think it's any difference in that way. I mean, it's always fantastic to come to the finals, and you're just looking forward to it. I mean, since we got all the players in, it's like going into some kind of a bubble. You just focus around this. So, I mean, you always, when you come to the match day, you feel a little bit, but I can't say I feel much more pressure now than I did before.
Yes.
Swedish news agency. Lars, what do you think about your chances in this Euros, and which is a key match in the group?
Yeah, as I always said, I mean, I always think you have a realistic chance in football, and I think with these guys and what they have done before, if we are performing as we should do, I think we have a rather good chance to go on from the group stage. So I think that's quite possible. If we look upon the first game now, I mean, you always say, of course, that it's a good way to have a good start in the finals when it's only 3 matches in the group stage. But as you play I would call them the big favorite in the group if you look upon the early results. So I think we can handle a loss against them also. So it's difficult to say. I mean, normally the first game is a lot of a key match, but I don't think this time. But depending on the first result, then we know how important it is coming to the second and the third. So it's very difficult to say. I mean, everybody speaks about Hungary as a key game, but I mean, Hungary is not a bad team either. So it's about taking points in all 3 matches, I think.
Alfred from Sydsvenskan and Helsingborgs Dagblad. Do you still have any contact with players from Helsingborg, and what did that time mean for your career?
Yes, I have some contact with a few players. It was kind of a period for me in my career that relived my good memories. I had a bad time in Belgium, and then I came to Helsingborg. I found football fun again and got to enjoy myself, and from that point on things really started to go well for me. And that was a very good group of players that I came into. I still speak with players like Erik Edman, Lindström, Christopher Andersson, some of the older guys, so they helped me a lot in this time, so I'm very grateful for everybody there at Helsingborg. It was a very, very good time for me as a professional football player.
So I'm from BT in Denmark. This is probably a question that you've had before, I guess, but this is for the players. In your opinion, what's the key to, what's the secret of Iceland? What's the reason why a country with a population of 300,000 people can be here among the 24 best teams in Europe? It shouldn't be possible. What do you think is the key? The secret?
Yeah.
I think the main key is the mentality of the Icelandic players. We're really hardworking. We don't give up. You can see that. And then we have, with that, we have good players that can play football. And of course, many of us has been together for 10 years. We started together on the 17, so the relationship between the players are great, and we actually play really good football as well. So that's the main reason.
Can I follow up?
Follow up on that.
Okay. Do you treat this as, you know, the start of something, or a once in a lifetime opportunity, if you know what I mean? Is this the first in many tournaments for Iceland, or is this a once in a lifetime thing, you think?
Yeah, why not? I think, of course, they call us the golden generation, but we see that the younger national team has good teams as well. So I think there's a bright future for Iceland in football. So no, I don't think this is just a one-time thing.
Yeah. Robert Lau, Aftonbladet, Swedish newspaper. Lasse, about the starting 11, is it still a secret to 1 hour before the game, or do you give it earlier nowadays?
No, normally we give it out when we shall leave it out, so to speak, if nothing special. So yeah, we do it in that way.
To the coach for Portugal, I would like to know if you maintain all that you have said about Ronaldo and Pepe being kind of actors from Hollywood in the pitch, and what you think about Fernando Santos' work in this national team of Portugal.
It's very easy to answer the second question. I think he's done a really great job. I mean, if I compare Portugal when I played them with Sweden, it's I mean, you always have the individual skills, but I really think he organized the team. You can see it on the results; they speak for themselves. So I have a lot of respect for the job the coach has done with Portugal. And when you come to the first question, I mean, I got that around the Champions League final, and you had some clips there. So, but I mean, I always, in general, had that opinion and said it many times that I think it's the acting that is in football, not only in Portugal, it's all over the world, maybe even in Iceland. So I think that they should change the rules and bring in possibilities to suspend players through video, looking at videos after the game. So I think it's something that should be taken away from the football.
But any player in particular in Portugal?
No, I just mentioned Pepe as he did some really, I mean, the clips, you can see the clips, I suppose you've seen them themselves. I mean, for me that's acting really in high class, so I don't know what demands they have in Hollywood. Maybe it's not can go in there and get a job, I don't know, but it was close by. But I'm not a professional in that area.
Lars, all these guys in the squad and Heimir as well are doing this for the first time. I'm sure that they are very well prepared, but nothing can really. Is there a way to prepare them for the occasion? This first 2 minutes of the first match in Iceland's history in a major tournament.
Maybe you should ask the players. Maybe it's difficult for them to answer. I mean, we have talked a lot about it starting already in March when we met them to talk a little bit about what you can expect when you come to the finals and things like that. But what we are trying to do together with the players is, when we talk about it, is, as we always do, about our attitude. But I mean, the strength that are in this group of players, I mean, the mental strengths and things. We have a few matches where as we lost very few, but I would say that some of them we lost a little bit because of maybe, and I don't think they are aware of doing it, but we became a little bit passive. If you take, for instance, Croatia away, we didn't play the way we normally did. So of course we talk about it, but I think they all enjoy it and going into it with the attitude that we will try to show everybody what Birke said before. We are a bunch of rather good footballers, and we have a really good team performance. I would be surprised if you will see any players being passive or really nervous before the game. Of course you're going to feel a little bit, but I don't think we will see much of it anyway. I'm pretty sure these guys will go out and try to show the rest of Europe what we can do.
But Alfred, can you comment on the same? I mean, have you talked about this? How it would be, playing on this major stage for the first time, and if it's voluntary or not, this nervousness or something like that? Are you worried about it?
No, of course, we've been waiting for this game, this tournament, for 10 months, so players are thinking about it almost every day, for a long time, so now it's getting closer. Of course, players are excited, that's normal. If you're not excited for a tournament like this, then there's something wrong with you. So, but I think I reflect a little bit back to when we went to the European Championship under 21. That was, yeah, we failed a little bit there, and this thing that we were overexcited. Everybody was going to win the game by themselves, and yeah, we didn't really. Yeah, we got one bad result, and it led to that we didn't stop playing as a team. So this is something that we've talked about in the group, and with Lars's experience, of course, that he can help us a lot to. That, of course, we're together now 3 weeks. It's not always fun and games, you know. It's you know, you can have disagreements, and but we are all striving for the same goal, and that is to get results on starting on Tuesday.
Portuguese at the back. It's you? Yes.
Okay. Question for Alfred from Portugal. Alfred, you had the Portuguese manager recently. I'd like to tell me what was the experience. I know you didn't play as much as you wanted, and if you had time to learn some Portuguese words in those times.
Yeah, of course, I had him at Olympiacos for 6 months as a coach. I respect a lot. Of course, I didn't play as much as I wanted, so we had some disagreements about the football matters, but that's normal in football. You don't always agree with everybody, and I thought I should have played more than I did, and I think I showed now that I deserved it. But a manager who is very good tactically, so for that matter, I respect him as a coach. And yeah, I played with some Portuguese players, also played in Spain, so I try to pick up a few Portuguese words. Maybe I will use them in the game to irritate them if possible.
Yes.
Lars, the last couple of days we've seen a lot of violence in Marseille and some kinds of hooligans from England, France and Russia. Yesterday at the Stade de France there was some incidents as well after the game. What do you say about the things that happened in Marseille, and do you trust that the security is okay?
Yeah, regarding security, I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question. I don't have enough knowledge about how all this is organized from this area and what they're doing from security reasons here. What I can see, it looks really good. Of course, it's very sad for football. I mean, I think now for almost since I was a little bit, I think, in Holland, Belgium 2000. After that, there's been really few incidents of a bigger matter. As I remember it anyway, in the finals, it was a little bit in Ukraine, Poland too. So it's really sad if this championship should be something like that, as it was before, with a lot of trouble in that way. So of course I hope that the fans will behave and that the French organizer, doesn't matter if they are from UEFA or French FA or the security, that we can handle it. It would be really sad if this should go on.
Very good.
Yes, to the players, how is it different to be here with the national team, you know, in this hotel environment, to what you're used to with your clubs?
Of course, it's different. We are together for 3-4 or more weeks, so we see a lot of each other. So of course it's not like normal. We see each other maybe 2-3 hours a day. So, but with this group, with the relationship we have in the players and squad, we have no problems. We get along with each other great, and there's no problem in the squad.
Both the players, are you getting kind of frustrated? Just talking about that we're so little, and we're only doing 25,000, and they never talk about you as serious footballers. The guy scored a winning goal against Arsenal in the Champions League, making Europa League player with the Swiss champions. Do you want a little bit more respect going into this game?
No, I think people are showing us respect that we are here. I think just people are slowly realizing how big of an achievement it is to reach a final tournament with only 325,000 people. Of course, that's always the biggest thing people mention, but it's not how many you are, it's what you do with these people, and I think we with the coaching and facilities, we've done a really, really good job, and you can see it with the players that you get a generation of 8 to 10 players who are now the core of the team that have stayed together for a long time, know each other, and you have really good characters in this group. So yeah, it's of course with problem with being so few is of course you don't have the depth in the squad like many other teams. I think Portugal can pick maybe 8-9 players for every position when we can pick 4 or 3 sometimes. So I think it's it's the first thing that people see with this achievement of coming here is of course that we are so few, and it is a big achievement. That is what people are realizing.
Danish colleague back.
Lastly, you're going into the last weeks in this job. Could you try and take us back to when you said yes 5 years ago to the job and your expectations back then? And did you have any idea or expectation that you would sit where you are today at the Euros?
Oh, first of all, I hope I will be in the job for rather many weeks still.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, when I took the job, I mean, when I got the question, as I always say, I always interested if it's an interesting football job. And when I looked a little bit into the players, I knew Iceland pretty well. It was some years ago. I haven't played against these guys who were a little bit younger, but when I looked upon the players a little bit and discussed a little bit with the FA, I thought it looks really interesting from a football point of view, and you never know in football, of course, but I said immediately when Heimir and I started to plan the job that I always think you have a realistic chance in football and how big it is, but I was pretty sure that I said to Heimir we should at least after the first qualification be among the 50 best in the FIFA ranking, and that we had the chance to qualify for the World Cup. And so I think what I knew was Birke talked about before also, even if I had the luck to beat Iceland a couple of times, so it was always difficult to play them, because what Birke was talking about, it's an attitude in Iceland in general, I would say, but also among these guys that they are prepared to do the job, and if you are that, I think you have a really good chance to do something when it comes to a team performance. I don't know if I answered all your questions.
I'm not sure if you answered the last one. Did you expect to sit here today at the Euros, or you probably didn't?
Yeah, I thought it was a real possibility, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken the job. But I mean, the most interesting for me, being as a coach, is to get to a club or a team where you know you can work with football and have possibilities to do results. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be interesting for me. So I definitely thought we have a rather good chance to qualify, especially for Euro, of course, as it's easier than go to the World Cup.
Just to switch to the point. It's a question for Bjarnason. Of course, the defenders will take more problems with Cristiano Ronaldo. But you, like a midfielder, you are prepared to help your teammates to stop Ronaldo?
Yeah, of course. As Lars said, it is a team effort, and we've played against good teams before, great players. So it's not only 2-3 players who have to handle one guy. It's the whole team, and we showed that against Netherlands. We had players like Robin, but with our work rate and our defensive work, players like that don't necessarily always achieve what they want. With the compact team we have, it's really difficult to break us down, and I think even though Portugal has a great team, I think we can put them some really questionable to them.
You think that Ronaldo is in a good shape? What you saw in the last matches of Portugal, you think that Ronaldo is in a good shape?
Yeah, of course. He just won the Champions League, so and scored the winning goal. So of course he's in a good shape. I play like with his quality, we will always be fed by any team, but we've been at great pace before, and we will for sure have some answers for them.
Yeah, Jonas, Swiss news agency Lars, what impressed you the most from this team in 5 years?
From the Iceland team, you mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, as we talked about already, I think, basically, of course, they have to be good footballer, but they have so many other qualities also. If you look aside of the technical part, the working performance they put in, they are physically really strong, they are mentally very strong. They have stood up with me for 4.5 years, a lot of repetition, a lot of tactical training, and if you ask them, I answer you honest, I don't think they have the most funnest practices with me. But instead, I think we are one of the better organized team. They know exactly how we should play, help each other, as Birger were talking about. When you play a good team like Portugal, for instance, and there's so much individual skills in the team, we have to close them down in different ways. But at the same time, I think what is good with these guys, they can play football also. So if you've seen the matches, we can have a pretty good attacking part of the game too. But I think the big thing is, besides of course being rather good footballers, is the mental strength in the team, the working rate. They are very fit, everybody. They can work for 90 minutes. So I think we are a really difficult team to break down.
Paul, at the back.
Robert Börjesson, Expressen Sweden. It's a question for the players. What would you say were the biggest things that Lars has taught you during this time?
Tell the truth.
Only the truth.
Only the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, of course, he has taught us a lot, because it was very important for Icelandic football at this time to get a coach with experience from international level. All the players are playing at international level, and normally, with all due respect, the coaches were from Icelandic level. So you were coming back to the national team, and the trainings and everything wasn't at the same standard as you were used to with your clubs. So first of all, he's brought experience, and of course he brought a system that everybody knows. Everybody knows how we will play. That's good for us, that when we come in, there's no surprises. You know what you're going to do, you know what job you have to play. And from the start, we've been very hard to break down. And when you work hard and are organized, it's always difficult to play against you. It doesn't matter who you play against. Of course, we've had good games and bad games, but in general, with his experience and his repetitions, of course, we've had too many of the same meetings with him, so he knows it. So, but it's brainwashing. So every time it's the same, and that helps. That when you come in, there's no surprises.
Timmy,
would you like to add something? It was a question to both players.
No, it's of course to learn from a coach with that experience is just a privilege. You can just see how much he has put into the team. I don't think many of the people out there expect us to be here, so great credit to him.
Lars, we saw the movie the other day. There was a quote with Heimir after the game in Croatia, where he said that there were things that, in hindsight, you realized that didn't maybe go according to plan in the build-up to that game, which at that time was definitely the biggest for us. I would say today that the game against Portugal is the biggest for us today. Is it something that we have learned from the preparation from Croatia? Is that something you could share with us? Maybe what went wrong in the build-up to the game in Zagreb?
No, I mean, what I suppose Heimir was meaning was that when you have a few days like we had between the doubleheader against Croatia. It's a big part of the coach job is to get the players ready, not only physical but mostly mental. And I think I did a mistake, and I did it a few times before that because you have the big responsibility to get the players on the right level. And I don't think, as I said before, as an example with the Croatia game, that if we get a little bit passive, we don't play the way we normally do. It's a question about the attitude, whatever you call it. And that responsibility is lying on me as a coach to really see that they are prepared. And when we had such a short time, we gave priority to other things, and that was even if I knew it, but I didn't think good enough to help the players in that way, because you always have to go out with an attitude. That's so important against Portugal also. I mean, even if we know we're playing a good team, if we're going out there and don't want to dominate the pitch, try to really dictate the match out the way we would like to play. So it's really a lot about mental strengths and being aware of that as a player, and not going out there and just feeling good that we are here and then stand and looking upon the Portuguese players, if you understand what I mean. So what I regret from the Croatian game was that we, what Alfred said, that we didn't repeat maybe a little bit more about these things, that just go out there and you can do it in a little bit different ways in your amateur psychological way.
Question for Lars, Tim Lee, UEFA Television. What, in your opinion, is the best performance by one of your teams at a major international tournament? And what ingredients from that experience might you try and share and instill here with Iceland?
When you say tournament, I suppose you mean qualification matches. That's the only competitive games we have played.
No, with other national teams, major competitions, summer competitions.
And what was your question? To compare?
What's the most satisfying experience you've had at a summer tournament?
Okay.
And which ingredients from that success and that experience might you try and instill?
I think you can divide it into two parts. The one is what is really important, I think, when you go to the finals, is all logistics around the team, all the planning, living, training facilities and things like that. And we've been pretty lucky in that way, I would say, without except once with the Swedish team. And if I should tell you about the Nigerian experience, then we missed the training because it was a little bit complicated to get a good training camp in South Africa. So that's one part of it, and that has worked really, really well. Of course, we had some smaller mistakes on the way. We don't. I mean, it's a little staff in Iceland. They have 18 people in the FA. If you compare with Sweden, I think they are about 130 now. So they really work like hell with all things. But when it comes to so that has been really important. I learned, of course, from that through all the finals I've been to and all the scouting I've done for hotels and training facilities. When it comes to the football part, I learned a lot from the first finals we went to. I think we was a little bit over-ambitious in our preparations. Not that we forced anything on the players, because we had a fantastic group then also. But then I think I learned from that. So I think to find the balance with training, team meetings, free time and things like that. So, but that's, I think, went pretty well in all the finals I went to, except the first one that we did some mistakes.
I have a couple more questions. First, Portuguese.
I would like to know what kind of attention will you pay to Ronaldo on the pitch or on the game, and if you think he is fit, considering that this was a very long season, not just for him, but also for him, about the final of Champions League, and if it was an intelligent move by Fernando Santos to give him a week of vacation before this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, about the shape, I really don't know. What I could see from his 45 minutes against Estonia, he looked fit to me. And the question about giving him a week free, I think, was a really good thing to do from the coach. I mean, these players now playing in top clubs and in national teams. I mean, we definitely are playing too many matches in too short time. I think, and I really understand if he was feeling tired after the Champions League final. So I think what should be really good for the calendar is if that, as they did now, they prolonged. I mean, we have 13 players playing. It was free or on vacation, but if you had a week, I think you reload from a physical point of view anyway. Then how much you need from a mental point of view, that's up to every individual, I think. But I think you can expect to see the best of Ronaldo, except from our game when we play against them.
Tom, final question.
Guys, to both of you, is it easier for you coming into the tournament being kind of settled in your clubs? You're kind of scoring again in Augsburg and Swiss champion. Not, of course, this is a big window for you, and bigger teams are watching. But is it easier for you not to be have to use this as a window and just play the game?
Yeah, of course. Going into a tournament like this, for any players, it's really important to have a good season. And of course, I feel in good shape personally. So, yeah, to answer your question, it's of course it's really good for the confidence to go into this tournament after a good season. So, yeah, I think it sets us up.
Yeah, same for me. I think coming into the tournament of a good season, like Birkir is saying, is something that gives you a lot of confidence. Confidence is something you don't pick up off the ground. Something you work with, performances you gain, and for me that's very good that I can come into the tournament strong. Of course, all of the players have put all the preparation around this tournament, change clubs, and to be in top shape now. And I can only speak for myself, but I'm feeling really good, fit, and in good shape for this tournament.
Okay, until next time, thank you.
Thank you very much.